Want to know how I'm automating an entire Faceless YouTube channel without touching a camera, a microphone, or even editing software? This is an example of a Faceless YouTube channel. As you can see, it's got 700,000 views in just 13 days, and the whole channel has 6.6 million subscribers. Additionally, this is another viral Faceless channel. It's got almost 45 million subscribers, and it just has millions of views on all of these videos. I've created a hands-free YouTube automation. I'm going to be showcasing my entire automation right here. If you'd like access to my step-by-step course starting from complete scratch, it'll be the first link in the description or bio. If you like this type of content, make sure you like and subscribe, and now let's get into it. I created 2 full Make.com automations. If you'd like access to my Make.com blueprints that allow you to import exactly like that, make sure you check out the school community where I have all the templates and courses for you to start this from scratch, as well as some additional resources and weekly calls so you can get the tech support that you need. All right, let me show you exactly what I did. So for my Faceless YouTube channel, I wanted to pick a niche that I actually enjoy and that I find is funny. This Reddit page is Am I the A-hole? It's basically people telling Reddit if they are the a-hole in whatever situation they are, and they give these long descriptions and stories about that exact moment. And so what I did is I took the top posts for that day and I'm turning that into a full-fledged YouTube video with automations, voiceovers, and editing, all from a click of a button. Let me show you how I did that. First, this automation talks to the Reddit API and it parses out the data and gets the top one for the day. And then it sends it over to Airtable, where we then store all of the data and scenes and scenarios. Once we do that, we start automating the entire process. So this top section here is the generating story and all the scenes and parsing out all the data. This next row here is actually creating the videos with Leonardo AI. Leonardo AI is an AI image generator, and it creates high quality images, and then you can add motion to those images as well based on another prompt. All the links for all the programs that I use are down below. Make sure you check those out and get free credits. Okay, these next 2 rows are the voiceover and the scene generation, and it starts to generate those together. Next row combines the voiceover and the scenes. After that, we build the full video. We then transcribe it. We put captions on it, which is this second to last one, and then we upload it to YouTube and then create a viral YouTube thumbnail with it as well. And the remaining of this video, I'm going to give you one free module that's going to be creating this whole automation right here with Make.com, and shows you exactly what you get with the course and exactly how much detail you get from me as I explain the entire process. So again, if you'd like access to that, the link is down below, and you just have to join my school community. So yeah, enjoy. Okay, welcome back to another module. Now we're going to be going to Make.com. Okay, this is an automation where we pull from Reddit through their API and grab the post. We add it to Google Sheet, transform some of the data, pull it back from Google Sheet, and then go to ChatGPT to add some stuff, and then we go to Airtable to populate the Airtable tables that we just created. So we're going to be creating this. So in order to create this, let's go to create a new scenario. Let's name this scenario. Okay, I named it Reddit feed demo. Okay, so to start this off, we're going to have a basic auth request in the HTTP module. So click there. The URL will be this URL here, reddit.com API access token. So we're going to be grabbing the token. We will be adding a auth key. So I'm going to name this. This can be any name that you guys like. Username and password, let's get that right now. Okay, here is the OAuth 2. Here's the Reddit's OAuth 2 quick start example guide. It's a great resource how I was able to kind of create these posts. I'll include this in the links below this video as well. Okay, now we go to Reddit, where we are going to create an app. So first you have to have a Reddit account. Most people have Reddit accounts, but if you don't, create an account. Next, you're going to go to this link here. I'll have it in the links down below. Here, this is the one that I'm currently using. It won't have that. You'll just have create another app, or just create app. You hit that. Let's add a name to it. Fill it in whatever name you like. I use that one. Here you're gonna make sure you hit script, because this is just for personal use. We won't be installing it to a website or any of the mobile apps or anything like that. Description you can leave blank. About URL, you can leave blank. Redirect URI, you can fill it into a redirect URL, although we won't be using it. You can use it if you like, but I'm just gonna fill it in with any unused redirect. Something like this will work. Do the reCAPTCHA, create app. Okay, they can't have Reddit in the name, so we'll just do feed demo. Okay, so once you create the app, it will give you this secret. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this secret, you're gonna copy it, you're gonna go back to that new scenario, and you're gonna paste that into the password. Now to find the username, it's this little line right here. So you're gonna copy that, add it right there, hit create, and there you go. Okay, once you have the credentials and you have the URL, you're gonna change the method to post. Okay, you won't need any headers, you won't need anything in the query string. You'll just need to make a body type form URL encoded, and then we're gonna start adding some fields. Okay, first we're gonna add grant type, and then we're gonna add value password. Next field, the key will be username, and then the username will be your actual Reddit username. So for me, this is one of my Reddit usernames right here. And then I'm just gonna paste it in right there. And then the last one will be password. And this will be your Reddit password. So whatever I use to log into Reddit, it's just gonna be your normal Reddit password. That you'll fill in right here. And then you're gonna wanna make sure you have parse response yes. And then once you have that, you hit OK, and then you're done. Okay, so once you have your basic auth request, we're gonna save it, and we're gonna run once. And if you filled it in correctly, you should get some data, and you'll have access token just like that. Okay, once you get a valid access token like that, we're gonna make another HTTP request. We're gonna make a request like right here. This URL, this is where you are going to fill in whatever Reddit feed that you want. So for me, it's this one right here, am I the a-hole? And then I'm choosing the top query. This is just preferences, so you can choose it to be whatever you'd like. The method will stay as get. We are going to add one header. It will be authorization, like that. And we'll start it off with bearer like that. And then the data, we're gonna be going back to this to find the access token, and we're gonna fill it in like just like that. Okay, next, we're gonna add some query strings. So this is based off of what I want. So here is the Reddit documentation for their API. There's a whole list of different parameters you can provide and whatever you want, links, comments, listings. For our situation, I'm using top, and then these are the different things you can do. So the top hour, top day, top week, or any of these different things. So you can provide a limit for how many you want. So for me, I'm gonna add a query string for T, and we want the top day. So that's the value for day. I'm gonna add another one for limit, and I'll add it for 100. So I want the maximum we can get. Body type we can leave as is, and then we want to make sure we parse response, and then we hit OK.
Amen.
So if we run this, should pull in the top Reddit post. There it is, data, children, and then these are all top 100 for the day. See, am I the asshole for being upset at my wife's reason for marrying me? After that, in order to parse this data, we're going to add an iterator. Okay, inside data, and then inside data again, and then children, we're going to select that children element. Now we're going to close that iterator with an array aggregator, source module iterator, hit OK for now. Okay, once you have the iterator, we're going to close the iterator with an array aggregator. The source module will be iterator, and then we're going to come back to this once we move on to the other modules, because we need a certain object. Okay, so now we're gonna go to Google Sheets and create a blank sheet. Let's name this sheet Reddit feed demo, like that. Okay, we're gonna start adding some columns. So let's start with title. Next one will be post body. After that will be length body, like that. let's add some length to the post body. Okay, for the next column, let's do language, like that. After that, let's do ups. After that, let's do score. And then after that, let's do number of comments and URL, like that. Let's make this the header, like that, so we can scroll. Okay, now let's move back to make.com. We are going to go to the Google Sheets module, and we're going to clear values from a range. So if you don't have a Google connection, you're going to want to add a Google connection here, basically sign in, and you then go through the Google Auth and it will show up in this module. Okay, so once you have the Google connection, we're going to select the spreadsheet. You should be able to find it here. This is the one that we're using. Sheet name, we use sheet 1. If you renamed it, it will show up different. The range that we're going to be deleting is A2:Z. Okay, and essentially we can test this. We have stuff here, there, here. This should all be cleared out. So let's run that module. Run that module only, and it's all cleared out. So the reason why we're doing this is because every time we're pulling 100, we don't want all that data to sit there. It just collects data, and we only want the top 1% that is in English and has a length body of a certain amount. And we're going to be finding those things, and then once we get it, we're going to delete it and have it get ready for the next run, right? So essentially we're making it clear right before we add additional stuff. Okay, so let's move on to another module. We're going to go to tools, and then right here we're going to select sleep. And I like to sleep for at least 60 seconds. This is because Google Sheets, for whatever reason, like sometimes get errors if I'm doing another module, another Google Sheets module after this one. It needs some time to update and clear all those values out. So that's why we're doing that. Okay, so once you have the sleep module, we're going to add another Google Sheet module. And here we're going to bulk add rows. Okay, make sure you select that Google connection. We're going to find the spreadsheet. So if you use Reddit, should pull up with the ones that we want. So we select the demo. We unmap it. We can select the sheet name, columns A through Z. And then rows, we're going to leave empty for now. We're going to hit OK. Now let's go back to the array aggregator. We're going to select the target structure type as rows. We're going to add a value. Here we're going to select the title. So the first one, so basically each column correlates to this column here. So the first column should be title, second one should be post body, etc. So column 1 should be title. Let's find the title. There it is. Next one will be self-text, is the entire post. If you want the HTML, there's also the HTML self-text. Okay, so the next column is going to be length of this self-text. Okay, so we go back to self-text, and there we're getting the length of the post body. The next one, we are going to do a certain formula from Sheets. Okay, so this is how we're going to be detecting language. We're using a free Google Sheet function, detect language. And then we're just making sure we're replacing all of the quotes with single quotes so that we don't mess up the formula. And this was copied, so let me make sure it is the correct self-text. There we go. Next is ups. So we go to ups right there. After that is score. Score is down below, score. After that, we're going to do num of comments right there. And then after that, let's do the URL, which is all the way in the bottom, like that. Cool, let's hit OK. Now let's go back to Google Sheets on the bulk add rows and add that array. Hit OK. There we go. Now we're getting all the posts in a Google Sheet and we're detecting the language. Okay, so once we're at this point, let's actually test it all out. So make sure we save and then let's hit run. Okay, it finished running all of the posts. Let's look at it. And boom, we have all of the posts. We have all the languages as well. The reason why we're doing language and the Google Sheets is really because of this column here. I had a few Spanish posts in here, and I actually wanted to post a Spanish post, and that broke some of the voiceover and other stuff because I was using a specific English voiceover, and essentially we can make it work with a Spanish, and we just detect it, and we can make, but I'm focusing on an English channel, and so that's why we have this. And this is a free tool that Sheets has, which is why we're doing it this way instead of just automatically pasting it into Airtable. Okay, so now that we have that, we are gonna add a router. Okay, I'm using a router here in order to separate it into different formats. So here I'm gonna have the YouTube video, and then here I'm gonna have the YouTube Shorts. So essentially we want the YouTube videos to have enough content to be a video, and Shorts to have, max of 1 minute of content. And in order to do this, we need to search the most popular rows with a certain length. And here we're gonna do the most popular rows with a shorter amount of length. Okay, so for this top one, we're gonna do a search rows here from Google Sheets, select the Google connection, select the sheet ID, Reddit feed demo, sheet name, yes to headers, column range, I like the A to Z. Okay, so filter will be the length of body, numeric greater than 4,000, at least 3,000, and I like to do 4,000. Not all posts are 4,000, but it adds a lot more content and makes for a better video. Okay, we're gonna do it and language is equal to EN for English, and we're gonna do ups numeric greater than at least 1,000. You can mess around with that depending on what your settings are and what your subreddit is, but that's what I like. After that, we're gonna order by the ups column. The field type is a number and will be descending. And the maximum number of return rows will be 1. We only want 1. There we go. Next, we're gonna duplicate this. And we're gonna add it here. Delete that module. Here, this is for the Shorts. So this one I like to do less than, numeric less than 1,000. Language EN, and then we can remove that. And we'll be ordering by the ups, so then we can get the top most popular one that's less than 1,000. Hit OK. Okay, after that we're gonna add a ChatGPT completion, create a completion, select the 4.0 model, messages, user, will be this, prompts. All the prompts and additional information will be down below. But essentially we're reading the text and we're determining if the narration is made by a man or a woman. Now in these certain posts, there's usually a main narrator that's discussing their issue, and it's usually a man or a woman, and they're talking about the other gender, right? The reason why I'm doing this is because we want to know who's talking, so then we can determine the voice that should be used for that narration. And so I'm just giving a little prompt of you can determine it by the pronouns, the context, and then sometimes they talk about, so I'm a male 26, and they format it like this. So I'm just giving it some pointers. And then please return the output man or woman and nothing else, right? And then the text we're gonna fill in as the post body that's returned here. Just like that. The max tokens, we're gonna leave the 0, hit OK. Essentially we're gonna do this exact same thing, so we're just gonna clone that, add that here, change the post body to this post body. There we go. Last two modules, we're gonna be adding a record with Airtable, create a record. Okay, for a connection, I'm gonna have to add the connection for Reddit demo. So we're gonna use Airtable auth. We're gonna name this one Reddit demo. Okay, after that, we're gonna select a base, Reddit demo, like that. And then we're gonna select the base, should be Reddit demo. Okay, in the table, we're gonna add a Reddit feed row. Okay, the link, you will be using the URL like that. Title will be title. Body will be post body. Length of body will be length of body. Language, ups, score, number of comments, and then voice, gender, and story types. So for these two, I'm manually choosing that. Okay, for voice gender, I'm gonna be hard coding the record IDs. In a perfect world, I would actually just call Airtable and get these record IDs based on if it's a man or a woman. But I don't want to spend the operations to do this. It's a little bit cheaper just to hard code it, since they're going to be constant values throughout the entire automation. So I'm just hard coding it, and I'll show you how to get the record IDs right now. So you're going to go back to Airtable. You're going to go back to data. We're going to go back to narrator. And here we made these records, man and woman. For man, we're going to select that, copy that, go back to the new scenario. I added this if statement, and then this result is the ChatGPT result equaling man. And then the first value is if that is true. So that means this record value should be the one we just copied. These are old record values from my previous automation. We're going to do the same for the woman. Go back here, paste that in, and then let's change this result to the correct one, this one here. And there you go, that is how you do that. And then same with story types. The story type will always be a YouTube video, so I'm going to copy that right now. Go to story types, get the record ID for YouTube video right here. And there we go. We're going to copy that. Let's clone this right here. Everything will be the same except for a few things. I'm going to change the title, body, length body, language, ups, score, number of comments. The result will be different, be 15. And then this record ID is the only thing that's actually changing. So we're going to go here to this, and then paste in that different record ID. Hit OK. All right, now let's actually test this. For now, I'm going to be mainly focusing on the YouTube video, so I'm going to disable this route. And if you'd like to do both at the same time, you can. Just to keep it simple, I'm just going to be working with the YouTube video, as that's kind of the most important for right now. But this is how easy you can do it for YouTube Shorts, and that's kind of what I'm showing. Okay, so let's run this one way through. Okay, so it fully went through and created that record. Let's check it out. Let's go to Reddit feed. And I forgot to delete these two, but there we go. Delete all those, and there is our record. So it's a woman talking, YouTube video story type. It's in English, and then it's a heck of a length of body. So it is huge. Okay, so now that we have that record here, this table will essentially act as a log. And what's actually going to trigger the rest of the automation is this story. So we need to take the information that we want from here and add it to the stories.